Welcome to the channel. So today I'm going to answer another frequently asked question. Well, infrequently asked question. It's frequent over a period of time, but infrequent as far as how often I get asked. But I have been asked quite a bit over recent years. What is the difference in a regular micrometer and a bearing micrometer? Both are micrometers. In this case, they're both 1-inch micrometers. This is your standard. This one here is your standard outside micrometer. This is a bearing micrometer. Both would typically read in at least thousandths of an inch. In this case, both of these have a vernier scale on them and can read to 10,000ths of an inch. Let's move the bearing mic out of the way for a moment. If I bring this up where you can see it, this is your thimble side. This is the part you turn, that's this shaft here, to get your dimension. And this is your anvil side. If you'll notice, they're parallel to each other. It measures outside dimensions. You can measure the diameter of this pin. You could measure the thickness of this penny. Or you could measure the diameter of this penny, whichever the case may be. Nothing super secretive about it. They've been around forever. There's lots of videos on how to read them, so we won't go over that today. Maybe I'll do a refresher course on reading them when we're fabricating something or building an engine in a later video. Now, this is the bearing micrometer. Now, if I bring it up to the camera, you'll notice that you have your flat thimble side, but over here on the anvil side, it's rounded. All right, why is that important? That's what makes this a bearing micrometer. Or the reason it's made this way is for measuring things on a curved surface. A thickness on a curve, a bearing shell, thus bearing micrometer, or the outside of a small bushing around something like a rod pin bushing, things like that. Let's go over a little bit of the basics here, and as you get closer you'll see what it's doing. I'm going to put these two side by side, and I'm going to use the back of the anvil here as 0. Now, let me zoom down. Actually, let's put a white background under them so they show up a little bit better. I'm going to 0 them for sake of the view here at this point here. Now, I'm probably zoomed in a little too tight. Alright. This gives you a good example of, here's your parallel surfaces. Here's your parallel, but with a rounded side. Now, you'll also notice that this one has a lot longer anvil than this one does. There's a lot more taper on this part of the shaft or the housing here than there is on this one. And you got this little flat spot right here. Now, why is that? If you take and you got a bushing, for example, and you want to measure it, like let's say take the end of this wrench, this one won't fit in there to measure it because the anvil's too thick. You open this one up. This one will go right in the hole. So that's why it's so small. It's made to go in and measure small areas. Now, the real beauty of this thing, this particular one, is this curved anvil. Now, why is that important? Let me zoom back out. Let's say we want to measure, let me get a quarter here and a nickel. Alright, there's a quarter, there's a nickel. So that's our bearing shell or our bushing, whichever the case may be. Okay, so if I take my standard micrometer and I want to mic this, I'm not going to be able to accurately mic it because what's going to happen Here's my anvil on my standard micrometer. Here's my thimble. And you see how short this inside radius is. And then here's my center line of measuring. Now this is where I want to do my measuring, is right here. What's going to happen on a tight enough radius is this, and I know this isn't round. I'm exaggerating this a bit for sake of the video here. I'm not going to get an accurate reading because this clearance space right here is where I really need to be measuring, and I can't get in there. Now, how do we fix that? Let's go over here and get us a clean piece of paper. Here's our thimble once again. But this time, we're using a Baron mic. And our Baron mic has a rounded anvil. And our center line comes down through here, and I know that's a little bit of a crooked center line, but what's going to happen is right here where we're passing through that Baron material, notice because we're rounded, now we can get an accurate reading. And that's what's special about a Baron mic. So there you go. That's a quick difference in a regular micrometer and a Baron micrometer, Bushin micrometer. The real name of it's a Baron micrometer, but I've heard it called a radius mic, Bushin mic, edge mic. I've heard different things over the years, but it's one of those things you don't have to have it, but it's nice to have it when you need it, and it's usually when you ran into a problem, or if you're making a really small Bushin for something, or a small Baron for something. As far as engine building goes, it's really a double check tool in case you run into a problem. That's why I have it. I've only ever had to use it a time or two. As you can see, it's got hardly any wear on it. As always, take care of your micrometers. They're precision instruments. Don't drop them. Never turn them all the way down and turn them tight. Wipe them off when you're done. If they come with the little sleeve with the drying packet in it, put them back in there. They'll last you a long time if you take good care of them. As always, think outside the box, practice your skills, learn new skills, turn them into craftsmanship. Don't let yourself be limited by fear of trying something new. Get out there, give it a shot. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. Maybe you don't get it the first time, but you'll get it the next time or the time after that. Turn it into craftsmanship. You never know how far it'll take you. You'd be surprised how all your skills will work together, and once you get more than one skill, you'll start noticing a pickup in the quality of your work and the speed of your work. And don't try to be fast. Speed will come with time and with experience. You'll get better. Eventually you'll get to the point that it is craftsmanship, and you'll be very proud of the things you make. Until next time, this has been Fab Race Mod Repeat. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.